Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a good old shop my stash for my upcoming week-long holiday to Turkey. We just have fall break at school coming up, and we're gonna be spending a week in Istanbul. It's been kind of a long time coming, so I'm hoping that everything goes to plan and we can actually go, because believe it or not, we've been trying to go to Istanbul since 2017. And something always comes up. So hopefully this third or fourth time, I've lost count of the number of times we've tried to go. Hopefully this time is the charm and I can finally go to Istanbul. My husband has been to Istanbul before, but he hasn't been in like 15 years. So it's always interesting for me to like return to places where he's been with him so that I can see like how it compares to what he remembers. But not the point of this video. Today we're just gonna sift through my collection and just take a peek at some of the things that I'm thinking about taking. We're mostly gonna be focusing on makeup. So some of it is old friends that you've seen me pick in other videos. If you want to see previous Shop My Stash videos, I'm gonna leave them linked in the cards here. But for this time, I'm gonna try to keep my makeup simple and not take too terribly much, because it's just gonna be sightseeing and low-key stuff, nothing too fancy, nothing crazy. So come along with me to my bathroom so that we can pick the items from my stash that are gonna make it with me on my week-long holiday. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us in this sparkly corner of the internet. My name is Jo, and I love to talk about makeup and skincare and all these very fun things that bring me a lot of joy and maybe bring you a lot of joy as well. So without further ado, let's go into my bathroom and shop my stash for a week-long holiday to Istanbul. So this is my default makeup bag. I think you've seen this in previous videos. It's just a To Me makeup bag that my husband got me for my birthday a few years ago. So this is where I'm gonna pack makeup and skincare for our trip. So I already have in here like a little packet that I actually got from a previous trip. It just has like some makeup pads, Q-tips, and a nail file. I like to take these from hotels because it just helps with like packing some of these cleaning supplies. So I keep one of those in there if I have them. And then I also have a mini Becca Ignite liquid highlighter in shade Passion. So I'm just gonna keep it there because it lives in my travel bag and it can be like my one liquid highlighter. It's a pretty universal shade that works with most makeup looks. Let me swatch it real quick. So that's obviously a really heavy swatch. It has a pretty gold sheen, but if you sheer it out, it can be quite translucent. So I prefer it for that reason. Let me see if I can sheer this out a little bit more. There you go. So this is usually what I do with that liquid highlighter. I don't wear it as heavy as the swatch that I showed you before. I just sheer it out really well and it just gives a really nice glow to the skin. You are wearing highlighter, but people can't see you from the moon. And when I'm traveling, I don't really wear such structured makeup, so I prefer something like this. And then the other thing that was already in my bag is the L'Or Essence de Clay Allure Pure, which is a radiance concentrate with pure gold from Guerlain. This is a primer. I got it in a Sephora Favorites luxury makeup set, and I quite enjoy it. It's not a super heavy primer, and it does offer some grip and some radiance. So it just lives in my travel bag. I'll just use it when I travel, and when I'm done, I'm done. So it'll be one option of primer, but I'm gonna take one more. I'll show you in just a minute. So I feel like I'm finally shedding what's left of my summer tan. So my other primer option is gonna be this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I prefer to buy the minis of these because I'm guaranteed to finish a mini and then I can buy more than one shade. If you buy the full size of this, it's just way too much product, even for me using it as an all over face primer. So I personally prefer to buy the minis and then just alternate between shades. This one is the shade 5.5. And then for more low-key days, when I don't have a full beat on and just want to bring some uniformity to my face, I'm going to be using the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum Tinted Sunscreen. It has SPF 30, which is pretty great. And this is definitely more a sunscreen than tinted moisturizer or tinted foundation or whatever. So I'm hoping that I can get some use out of it because I actually don't love the texture. I feel like it feels really heavy on the skin. This is in the shade Silver Lake. So I'm hoping to get some good use out of this, and it will be kind of like my main base for just regular days when I'm not wearing a full bead, but I still want a little something something and want to kind of make my face a little bit more even. I'll probably put the Hollywood Flawless filter down and then this as a tinted sunscreen. We do have like a dinner cruise scheduled along the Bosphorus, so that'll be kind of a fun activity. And for that, well, I'll do my makeup and it'll be at night. And I'm not gonna wear a tinted sunscreen at night because it's gonna give me flashback in pictures. So I'm gonna take this for my foundation option. It's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. This is the shade 380. Again, I'm wearing things that I'm a little too tan for in normal conditions. I'm trying to get more use out of them right now. So this is one of those things. It's too dark for me in the fall, winter, so I'm gonna take advantage of the last bits of summer tan that I have to wear it, because I can get away with it for the most part if I'm tan like right now. But just in case, I'm also gonna take my blue color corrector from e.l.f. with it in case I wanna make sure that like things even out and are a little bit more neutralized. And here's the blue color corrector from e.l.f. I'm gonna put that in my bag. For concealer, I'm gonna take my Overachiever concealer from Huda Beauty. I wear the shade Caramel Corn. I think this is discontinued in most places, but I think I saw it last week on the Huda Beauty website in some sort of set. So if you wanna try it out, you may be able to find it there. It is, just like it says, a high coverage creamy concealer. It is really, really stretchy, so I use very little of it, but it does provide really nice coverage and it's very, very easy to work with. So that's gonna be my concealer choice for this trip, because even if I didn't want to wear foundation but want to like even out my under eyes, then this is a fantastic option and I don't need to wear a lot of product. This is way too much eyeliner and I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna be using all 5 of them, but I like to have color choices when it comes to eyeliner, so I'm gonna take basically one of each. First, from left to right, is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On in Demolition. This is getting pretty small. I'm pretty excited to use it up. Next is the House Labs, old House Labs iteration in Hunted, which is like a forest green. Then Urban Decay 24/7 in Perversion. Then the KVD Tattoo Pencil Liner in, it's like a dark blue. What is this called? I can't tell what it's called. What is this called? Oh my God. Blue Ashes, okay. Most painful eyeliner I have ever used. It's really dry, so I'm really trying to kind of get a little bit of use out of it, but I really don't like it. It's gonna get replaced soon because it hurts to apply on my lower lash line, so I don't know how much I can like safely keep using it. And then last but not least, my Marc Jacobs gel eyeliner in like, this is called, it's an eggplant color. I don't remember the exact name of the shade, but these are gonna be my eyeliner options. Cream blush, I'm only gonna take this one. It's my Tower 28 Beach Please in Magic Hour, and I'm basically gonna take it kind of as a blush base. So this is really good for like layering or topping it with other blush shades, and you can still see kind of both. So it's kind of like a good mixing cream blush, but it's also a really good low-key makeup day cream blush, and I'm making a lot of good progress on it. I have a pretty big pan, so it's a good opportunity to use it in combination with other cheek products. So I'm gonna take it and see if I can make more progress in it. And then for an all-encompassing cheek product option, I'm gonna take my Hourglass Ambient Light Unlocked palette. This is this year's palette. I have palette 3, the darkest one, in the jellyfish packaging. I have a video here on my channel with comparisons and a demo showing you this palette and also comparison swatches to last year's darkest palette. I'm gonna link that up in the card for you to check it out if you're still thinking about maybe getting this on the Sephora sale or something like that. But this is just a really good all the cheek products that you may need options. So I'm gonna take it so that I can give it a really nice consistent use for once. To be honest, like I've been using this quite frequently in the past week or so. I've used like a bunch of the blushes, I've used the bronzer, I've used the finishing powder. So I'm excited to kind of have it as my only option and definitely have it be like my go-to in a specific situation. So that's kind of why I'm taking it, so that it can be like my only cheek palette for a week, my only option cheek products for a week. And while it's hourglass, the finish in the powders are just absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited to just kind of spend a little bit more quality time with this girl a little bit this week. For fragrances, I'm gonna take these three from left to right. It's the Nest New York Madagascar Vanilla Perfume Oil. In the middle is the Nest New York Wild Poppy Eau de Parfum. And the longest container is a travel size of the YSL Libre, which I absolutely love. The Nest minis were part of my Sephora birthday present this year. I still have the candle, haven't gotten to it, but I enjoy both of these. The Rollerball in the vanilla lip oil, not lip oil, perfume oil is inconsistent. It's hard to get it out sometimes. So that's kind of why I'm taking it on travel, so that I can kind of get use out of it. I really like the oil itself. It's just the component doesn't work super well. The Wild Poppy is lovely, and Libra is a really great fragrance for both, in my opinion, day and night. It's just really confident and sexy, but not too intense. So I really enjoy wearing it. And this is probably what I'm gonna wear like on the dinner cruise, for example. Mascara, this is the mascara that I have open at the moment. It's the mascara that I haven't used, the Tower 28 Make Waves. So this is the mascara that is coming with me. Some options for eyeshadows are like these, all of these sticks. So left to right, you have the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Strapless. I'm almost done with that one. I'm hoping to get real close with this strip. Then there's my Revlon Color Stay Glaze Stick in Sapphire. I really like to just do like this in my eyes, kind of eyeline my eyes with this blue eyeshadow stick and then do like a pink blush. I really like that look, and it's really simple. Then we also have my Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in Golden Pink. And last but not least, we have my Thrive Cosmetics Highlighter Stick in Stella. Out of all of these 4 products, this highlighter stick from Thrive is one that I use the least, but I would like to get a little bit more use out of it before the end of the year, because I know it's drying down and I just sometimes have trouble like finding a good moment to use it. I don't know what it is. I think that it's maybe like a little too, I don't know, ashy for me. I don't know what it is, but I take it on travels because usually I end up using it like once or twice. So there are a few opportunities to use it, but this is probably not going to be the only eyeshadow that I take. For my eyebrows, I'm actually going to take a little break from my Benefit Foolproof Powder. And for the sake of space, I'm going to take this Sephora Brow Volumizing Fiber Mascara. Don't know what the shade is. What's the shade in this? Shade 5 Deep Brown. I've used this a little bit. It's not my favorite fiber brow gel, but it's not bad. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time using it because it's been a little while. I've been spending most of the time wearing the Benefit Brow product. So I need to kind of gather my thoughts on this one and see just how much or how little I like it. So I'll spend a week with it. I'm just looking inside my cupboard, trying to decide what I'm going to take for an eyeshadow palette. I don't want to take a big one, but I also want to take just one. So I'm just trying to think which one to take. There are a few more out here that are like lined out because I know that I'm going to be using them for school this next week. I just don't know which one to take. So this was the palette that was like my first gut intention in a palette to take for the week. This is the Live-In palette from Corazona Beauty in collaboration with Ratolina. And it's a really, really beautiful palette with a lot of fun shades that really will be enough for the week. Let me show you what it looks like. So look at all these beautiful shades. Like you get neutrals. It's mostly neutral cool, which I appreciate because I feel like sometimes eyeshadow palettes just go way too warm. Like you can get some warm looks, like Beauty is a warm bronzy shimmer and it actually works really well and can be really nice. Alba can also be a warmer shade that you can kind of layer with others, but for the most part it's a cool neutral shade, and I think that part of that is the creator's own undertones, and part of that is just what she wanted to bring to the table. My qualm with taking it is just that it's a little big. So I would have to take it outside of my makeup bag, but you know what? This is actually the palette that I'm gonna take. This is the one that I'm gonna take. Just because it's one of my most recent palettes. It's it's the only palette that I actually bought this year. I bought this when it came out in the spring. And I've used it quite a bit, but I would like to, have it as my only option and really put myself in a position where I have to play around with it kind of a lot. So I'll just put it in my backpack or in my purse. It's not a big deal. So this is gonna be the palette that I'm gonna take this week. For a powder, I'm just gonna take my little Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. I have the shade 310. And as you can see, I have a pretty good pan on this. I would love to finish this by the end of the calendar year. So I'll take it as my only powder, like as a matte setting powder, because the Hourglass palette has luminous finishing powders, but I will need something matte for like under my eyes and to control oil and that sort of thing. So this is gonna be the one that I take. And now for lip products, I actually emptied my little pouch that I keep on my school bag. It's all dirty, it's old as heck. So that I can try to decide which lip products I'm gonna take. Since these are my most commonly worn, I think that this is probably a good place to pick from. So I'm probably gonna pick from here. I'm actually gonna pack this as well. It's my Sally Hansen Cuticle Rehab pen with cuticle oil. I'm actually gonna put this in my bag because right now my nails are kind of in recovery. I'm trying to let them grow again after a bad biting relapse that it's lasted way too long. So I'm gonna take this with me to make sure that I keep nourishing my cuticles while I'm gone. I actually brought just one more from my bathroom, which is another lipstick that I depotted. The bullet broke and I'm just afraid that I'm gonna lose it otherwise, so I just kind of smushed it into this container. It's my Givenchy Rouge Velvet shade 37. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me feature that a couple of times in the last couple of days, but here's what's left of that. So I'm gonna use as much of it as possible. It's a really, really beautiful red and I really enjoy wearing it. It's one of my favorite reds for sure, but it's just now in this container. So I'm actually gonna take this. And even though it's slightly darker, I actually always, or most of the time, pair it with this e.l.f. Lip liner, of which, again, I don't have a lot left. So I would like to use more of this in the months to come. I can see it getting a little wobbly inside the component, so I gotta be careful. Here's the lipstick, the Givenchy 37, and the e.l.f. lip liner swatched next to each other. Not too terribly different. I'm also gonna be taking my depotted Huda Beauty lipstick in Habibi. The pan was actually completely covered because it was a really significant portion of the bullet. So I depotted it because once again, the bullet broke. It kind of melted inside the component. So I was afraid that it was just gonna fall off, and I've just been getting it from in here. I would love to also finish this one by the end of the year, so it's coming with me. I love to top that Huda Beauty lipstick with this particular lip gloss. It's from Lethal Cosmetics and it's the shade Nexus, so this is coming with me. I'm also gonna take this Rare Beauty liquid lipstick, shade is Courage, with this ColourPop lip liner in shade Control. It looks way darker than the Rare Beauty liquid lipstick, but that's on purpose because otherwise this Rare Beauty lipstick kind of gives me the cadaver lips and it doesn't look cute. But these two, like, I can do a little bit of an ombre lip with it and it looks nice, so I'm gonna take these as well. But then for moments when I want to put on a little something on my lips but don't really want to fuss around, I'm going to take both of these glosses, my Nude Sticks lip glaze in Nude and then my Pat McGrath gloss in Flesh 06. For the sake of having something nourishing at hand, I'm going to take my Balm.com from Glossier, and I'm actually going to pack this for my husband. It's just lip balm from Isden with SPF 30, just in case we're outside all day and that kind of thing. This is where the makeup portion of the bag is looking like. I haven't packed skincare yet, which I'm expecting to put all the skincare in here too. Some of the like pencil sticks, components are just gonna go on the bottom with my makeup brushes, so they're not gonna be up here. And then all of these other lip products are just gonna go back into my school bag. Other things that I'm gonna pack in there, I'm gonna pack these 4 individual makeup washing kind of pads. I think these are supposed to be dupes for the makeup eraser. I bought them in a pack of like 30 on Amazon, and you know, they get the job done. They're nice to just like clean up. I've talked about these in previous videos. They're just nice to, you know, clean yourself up. This one has a stain, but it's clean. And then just throw them in the wash and just keep using them, as opposed to buying like makeup remover wipes that are disposable. And then these are the makeup brushes that I'm gonna be taking with me. Some of these I love, some of these I don't. This is actually the first time I'm gonna take this one on a trip, the Sigma F50 Flat Kabuki, for tinted sunscreen and for foundation. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blending concealer brush, and then this big fluffy one, which is like from Costco, for powder. This is seen better days, but I'm just kind of using it up before I declutter it at the end of the year because it's getting real frayed. This one I also use for like powder sometimes if I want more localized, from Luxie Beauty. This one for bronzer if I want a more precise location. This is the Luxie 504. This one I use for highlighter, which is the Real Techniques setting brush. And then these are for eyes. Most of them are Sephora collection, except for like this third middle one that I'm pointing with my thumb, which is Natasha Denona, came with the Mini Metropolis. And then Senor Scratchy, which is my ABH brush that came with my Jackie Aina palette. I call it Senor Scratchy because this is the scratchiest brush in the world. But I take it because it's like, it's innocuous and it's just easy to pack. And it does work really well. It's just really scratchy. So I mostly use it. I use it for travel, but if all my other favorites are dirty, then I'll use it. I'm probably taking too much, like usual. I'm definitely taking too many eyeliners, but that's okay. I have the space to take them, so it's fine. A little bit of a short roundup when I return of what I actually used and what I didn't. I'm trying to keep it to things that I know are gonna be like usable and practical and can help me with like easy looks and that sort of thing, but we'll see at the end. I have again the benefit of space, so I can take what I want. I don't have to like restrict myself. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what kind of looks I do during holiday, or if I even wear makeup at all. Who knows? You never know what's gonna happen. All right, so I have returned from my trip, and this is my mostly unpacked bag. We have a new floor covering in the spirit of the holiday season. We've started decorating for the holiday over here, which is just really fun. And I figured that we could put this tree skirt to good use so that you're not seeing just my plain floor. So we're just gonna unpack this entire bag, and then we'll go over the items that I used and the items that I didn't use in the week that I was away in Turkey, and we'll briefly talk about them. Okay, so here are all the items from my stash that I took on my trip to Turkey that I used. There are a couple of items here that should be here and are missing, like my travel size Nest New York Wild Poppy perfume, but I finished that about a week ago, and that is now in my empties bin, but I did take it and I did use it, so that's why it's not here. And here are the items that I didn't use. There's like a tiny brush over here, but we're not talking about tools. In this video, we're gonna only talk about the makeup products that I took and I didn't use. So onwards with the items that I did use in no particular order. Let's start with my Laneige lip sleeping mask. This is the strawberry flavor, if I remember correctly. I've done some pretty good use of this, and you know, I took it. I didn't use it every single day because some days I just could not be bothered. Some days I was just too tired, but I've had some pretty good use out of this. This came in a set with a travel size on the gummy flavor that I have finished already, but I did use it a couple of times. I would say more often than not. If I didn't use it before going to bed, then I would use it in the morning when I was getting ready to give my lips a little bit of a boost. This was the only powder that I took, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting powder in shade 3. I have major pan on this. See if I can open it with one hand, because your girl doesn't have a freestanding camera. Okay, so there's the current pan on this thing, and I use it mostly on my T-zone and I use it under my eyes, but I did take it and I did use it every single day. My Tower 28 cream blush in Magic Hour. As you can see, major pan here. I would love to finish this one by the end of the year. Used it every single day. Sephora collection, brow volumizing fiber mascara. This was my brow product for the trip. I used it every single day. This is my Clinique Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. Used it maybe every other day or like for reapplying, but I definitely used it frequently. My Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. Highly recommend that you try this. It is fantastic and it gives great length. It is the only mascara that I have open at the moment. I took it with me on my trip and I used it every single day. My Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Longwear Foundation in the shade 380. I use this every day to do my makeup. What I'm doing right now is that I'm just using a tiny bit of product because this is more of a high coverage product than what I would normally wear. If I wear just a tiny bit and wear a good primer, then it works for me. So I'm looking forward to using more of this in this time of the year, in the winter, because it does go oily on me rather quickly. So it's gonna be a little bit of a game of how tan am I to get away with this and how much product do I need to not get too oily. But I did use it on my trip every single day. New Hourglass Ambient Light palette. This is a jelly packaging, but this is the darkest palette. This is a third palette. So the darkest iteration of this year's Ambient Light powder. I use this every single day because this was my one product that I took for blush, bronzer, and highlighter. So for example, what I did was just use the Tower 28 as a cream blush base and then top it with one of the blushes. And then I used the highlighters a couple of times. I used the bronzer a couple of times. I wasn't in a bronzer mood most days, but I did use it a couple of times and I used most shades. My birthdaybalm.com from Glossier. I've had this for a while. I used it a couple of times. Sometimes when I wanted to like glossify a liquid lipstick, then this is what I would use. I used it a couple of times. Not every single day, but I used it a couple of times. My Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Strapless. I am almost done with this. I used it several days kind of as an eye base and then put like another shadow on top of it. I'll show you the eyeshadow palette that I took and we'll talk about usage in a few minutes, but I did take this shadow stick and I expect to see some progress in here. I hope I can finish it by the end of the year because I really don't have a lot left. Can I even pull it up? Oh my God, where's the stick? What? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is all I have left in this caviar stick. So I expect to finish it by the end of the year because this works really nicely as an eyeshadow base somehow in my skin tone. Nest New York Madagascar Vanilla Perfume Oil. This is just a sample size. I'm about halfway through this. I used this a couple of times. I've spoken about this before. The roller ball on this is not amazing. I wish I could take out the roller ball and just apply it directly. Yeah, so it's a packaging issue. It's not a product issue. I do like it and it's very long lasting on the skin. And yeah, I did use it a couple of times. Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. I believe that this is discontinued. I'm not sure. I think you can still buy it on her website. I use the shade Caramel Corn. It's kind of erasing. I use this every single time I did my makeup. You need a tiny bit of this because a little goes a long way, but it provides beautiful coverage. Why would Huda discontinue this? I don't understand. I'm gonna have to try the faux filter eventually because it's supposed to replace this, but this is a really good high coverage product and I don't like high coverage products. Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I took shade 6.5 deep. I used this a couple of times, mostly at the beginning of the trip when I was like more into spending more time getting ready. I used it as a primer and I mean, it's a product that I love. It's a no-brainer for me and it works really well with that Fenty foundation. But towards the end of the trip, I don't know. I couldn't be bothered and I wasn't using it, but I did use it at least 4 of the 7-ish days that I was there. Not makeup, but I did use this a couple times. It's the Sally Hansen Cuticle Rehab. I should finish this before the end of the year. Like I should just, instead of using my cuticle oil, I should just kind of spend a little extra time with this. If you're looking at my thumbnail, I'm sorry. It's pretty gunky right now. But yeah, I really like this product. I would love to have multiples of these just to keep them in my travel bag. And for when my nails are in really, really rough shape. But yeah, I used it a couple times, should have used it every day, but didn't. But I did use it, and I would like to finish it by the end of the year. So I'm gonna put this in my nightstand so that I can just apply it before bed when I'm done reading. Travel size of the Becca Ignite Liquid Highlighter in Passion. I think I use this almost every day. It's a tiny bit, and I use a tiny bit of it because what I like to do with this is just kind of like apply a thin layer and buff it out really well so that it gives me like kind of like that glass skin effect. It's a beautiful highlighter, and I have a full size. So I just keep this travel size in my travel bag because it's also a really universal highlighter with different makeup looks. So took it, use it, love it. Last but not least, Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. I use the shade Silver Lake. I've come to the conclusion that I don't like this product. It's not what I wanted it to be. For a sunscreen, it feels really heavy, and the fact that it has a tint kind of messes up with my head in terms of how it should look with makeup. And then as a tinted moisturizer, it's simply not that. I can't wear this by itself because it feels way too heavy on my skin. But I did take it to use as my go-to sunscreen while I was in Turkey, so I did use it every single day. I don't know if I can finish this by the end of the year because I have to kind of make myself use it, but I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna take it again when I'm traveling over Christmas break so that, again, I have to use it. So this is the whole shebang of all the products that I took that I did use. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 products that I took and I used, and the 17th would be that Nest New York Wild Poppy Traveler size that I actually finished after the trip. And here are all the products that I didn't use during my trip. Mostly lip products and eyeliners. So here are the 4 eyeliners that I took. So here are all the products, actually most of them. There's one thing missing here, and it should be in the used pile, which is my Thrive Cosmetics highlighter stick in Stella. I did take that and I did use it a couple times as an inner corner highlight. So it should be in this pile. I took it out to use it over the last couple of days. So it is there. Let me just put some order into this and maybe separate them by categories, and then we can go through it. Okay, so what we have here is eyeliners, lip products, complexion, and one eye product. So let's start with the one eye product that I didn't use. Unsurprisingly, my Revlon Color Stay Glaze Stick in Sapphire, I took it, but I didn't use it. I should have, because I really like to wear this as like my only eye product, kind of like as a thick eyeliner, and then do like a really bright pink blush. I think that looks pretty cool, and I enjoy wearing that look. So it just didn't happen. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't think about it. I had other things in mind, and I was very much into like one eyeshadow look, but a lot of shimmer all over my lid, and this kind of didn't fit what I was thinking for my makeup on those days. So I took it, but I didn't use it. Then we have 2 complexion products. One is my Guerlain L'Or Radiance Concentrate with Pure Gold. I don't know how true the gold thing is. I took it, but I didn't use it because I was preferring my Charlotte Tilbury, and in other moments, I just didn't use primer. But I did take this out of the travel bag, and I have been using it for the past week or so. Just kind of go through like a bit of a sprint to just finish it up. It is a product that I really enjoy. And this week I had the realization that here's why I really enjoy it. It is really lightweight, and it is very radiant indeed. And it has a level of stickiness that is not too much, not too little. It's just right. This is what I want the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer to be, if that makes any sense. The Power Grip, I feel, is too heavy, too sticky. It's too much for me. This is perfect in terms of like, I want a grippy primer, but I still want it to be radiant and I still want it to be hydrating. This is better. So, maybe I should buy a full size of this in the spring savings event. you know, in the spring when I've used a few more of my primers. What do you guys think? Has anyone used this in the long term, or any other products from the Lore line from Guerlain? It is a completely new product line to me, but I love this primer. It's really, really good, and I enjoyed it a bit. I just didn't use it, but I'm making up for it in the next couple of weeks, and my goal is to finish it by the end of November. Here we have my e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector in blue. I use it to neutralize my Fenty foundation, but I actually feel like right now it matches my skin tone pretty well. If I use it with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in 6.5, it matches my skin tone really well right now. So I just didn't feel the need to use this, but it is there for me to neutralize my foundation if I needed. This time around, I just didn't use it. When I travel, I tend to keep my complexion really simple. So I can see now that it was a mistake to bring it thinking that I was gonna use it, because it's just not my travel makeup mindset. Then we have a couple of lip products here. Let's talk about these first. Here is a Melt Travel Lipstick in shade 710, that mustardy brown shade that I have struggled to use before. I didn't use it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. This might have to go on the chopping block, because it's tricky to use, and like it's an effort to use. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this, and I didn't use it in this trip. Here's my, excuse me, Isden lip protector in SPF 30. I didn't use it. Sun wasn't a huge concern, so I just didn't feel like I needed it. Actually, this is in the wrong pile. I did use this. This is my Pat McGrath lip gloss in shade Flesh 6. This goes in the used pile because I used it, I wanna say twice. Sephora lip scrub, peppermint lip scrub. Didn't use this. Maybe going to the chopping block, because I keep talking about this, about like, oh, I have it and I've used it and it's okay, and maybe I should use it, and I don't use it in the end. So maybe this needs to go in the chopping block, I think. Or maybe declutter, I don't know. But I didn't use it at all. Rare Beauty liquid lipstick in, what shade is this? Rare Beauty liquid lipstick in Courage. I really do enjoy this product. It just didn't happen. I didn't use it. I used other matte lipsticks. It just didn't happen. I took too many, I think. My dearly beloved Lethal Cosmetics lip gloss in Nexus. I don't think I used this, but it just because it didn't happen, not because I don't like the product. I love this lip gloss. I actually love it. And I would like to buy more Lethal lip glosses, but that's gonna have to wait because I bought a bunch of lip oils from e.l.f. So that's gonna have to wait. But I didn't use this, and I didn't use this one either. My Nude Sticks lip glaze in nude. Is it just nude? Yeah, nude. This is my current brown lip gloss. I would really like to finish it up, but I'm being really slow about it, especially now that I have like a ton of lip oils. So I need to make a little bit of a more conscious effort to use this one, because I really want to finish it, because I really want to repurchase Lawless George. So I really like this, but I have other lip glosses in mind, and I'm not being as diligent in using this. So I need to make an effort. Last but not least, let's talk about these 4 guys. I took 4 eyeliners. I have no idea what I was thinking. Actually, I took 5 because I took my brown, my little Urban Decay in Demolition. It's just not there because I've been using it last week, and it's in my bathroom counter. But I took this Marc Jacobs Eggplant eyeliner, House Labs Forest Green Highliner, KVD Tattoo Lip Liner in, what color is this? I don't know. It's a blue ashes, and then the Urban Decay in Perversion. I didn't use eyeliner a single day I was there. It just didn't happen. I think I was like watching a video from Angelica Oles, and she was like talking about like, oh, I don't want to do eyeliner, and then I was like, oh, let's try not doing eyeliner, and I didn't, and I was perfectly happy with my makeup. So I think that in the future, maybe I'm gonna reduce my eyeliner count for travel to 1, maybe 2, if I have a very specific makeup look in mind. But I didn't use eyeliner at all, and I didn't really miss it. So that's what happened with that. And this is the eyeshadow palette that I took with me on my trip. This is the Live-In palette by Corazona in collaboration with Ratolina. It was the only palette that I took, and I used it basically every day. Okay, so I didn't use all the shades, obviously, because for the most part, I was just going for like one shadow looks, or like one shadow all over the lid, and then a tiny bit of depth on the crease. So shadows that I did use, I used Amorcito con S, I used Mor, I used M, which is my favorite shade in the entire palette, and I used Glossy a whole bunch of times. I think I also used Beauty once, if I remember correctly. But like M and Glossy were like the repeated shades that I used a bunch of times. And like for deepening the crease, I use Live In. The times I use Amorcito con S and Mor. I use Truñolina because it's a really nice dark warmish brown. And then I use Pon cara de idiota, make an idiot face. That's what this translates to. It translates to make an idiot face. To deepen the crease for more neutral looks, especially with M. The one disaster that I had with this palette was that I don't know what I was thinking, but one day I was trying to put Bonica all over my eyelid, which is a pressed glitter. Don't try to put this on your lid without glitter glue. Oh my God, what a disaster. It was a disaster. I had glitter all over my face, first of all, and it doesn't apply correctly. So please don't try to apply a pressed glitter without glitter glue, at least from a palette like this. There are other pressed glitters, like from ColourPop, that I can apply on my lid without glitter glue, and for the most part they last. These ones do not. Tolai and Bonica, as far as the shades from this palette. Tolai maybe fares a little bit better. This was, I don't know what I was thinking. Do not apply this without glitter glue if you have this palette. I wouldn't recommend it. But again, I thought that this was a pretty well-rounded palette for the only palette that I was gonna have for a week. And I managed to use a bunch of shades and get really, really pretty, really, really simple looks. I think that this palette is really self-explanatory and is really intuitive. So I appreciate it for that reason. And I can see myself taking it again as my one travel palette. Maybe not on my absolute next trip because, you know, I wanna rotate and stuff. But I was very happy to have it and I was very happy to use it. So overall, I would say I'm very happy with the usage that my selected stash got during my trip to Turkey. I wore makeup every day because I wanted to. I used most of my products and I really, really like the looks that I got. But that is going to be it for this edition of Shop My Stash for Travel Makeup. I hope you enjoyed my selection and my reckoning at the end. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to also subscribe before you leave our channel so that you can join us here in my adventures with makeup and beauty in this sparkly corner of the internet. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye-bye.